Hey everybody, welcome to Life in Calgary, Alberta. I'm your host Patrick Murray, and today we're going to talk about the latest real estate stats ending December 2023. That's right, we're doing a year in review of 2023 to see where we've come in Calgary, Alberta with the Calgary real estate market. Now, before I do this, if this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything there is about what it's like to eat, sleep, breathe, live, and play in Calgary, Alberta, then guys, please hit that subscribe button and click that little bell so you get notified every single time I release a new video. Now guys, I gotta tell you, I moved to Calgary back in 2001 and I've been a realtor here since 2010. And that means I have some specialized knowledge about the city of Calgary and the surrounding bedroom communities. So if you are considering a move to Calgary or one of these bedroom communities and you would like some assistance to purchase a home, feel free to reach out to me. My information is below. Send me a text, an email, a phone call. I will absolutely get back to you. Okay guys, let's do this. Let's look at 2023, a year in review, and discuss the latest real estate stats for the city of Calgary right after this. All right, guys, here we go. So these are the latest statistics from the end of December 2023 for detached homes, semi-detached homes, row or townhomes, if you will, and apartment condominiums. Now, because this is the end of the year, we're going to see some numbers regarding what happened in December, but also what's happened throughout the entire year of 2023 and where we can expect to go. So before we do that, just a couple of things I want to say. First off, we're talking about benchmark pricing here. And we talk about benchmark pricing because it's a far more stable way of talking about pricing as opposed to talking about median average pricing. Because with median or average pricing, if you had an unusual amount of high-end sales or maybe 1 month where you lacked a lot of higher-end sales and you had a lot of less expensive sales in a month, that could really skew the data from month to month. And the chart would be all over the place. So benchmark pricing is a far more stable way of talking about pricing. It talks about the average type of property in each neighborhood, that sort of thing. So that's what we're talking about today is benchmark pricing. The other thing I want to tell you about is, and of course, if you've been following along of what's happening in Canada and Calgary, specifically, you know that the Bank of Canada has been raising interest rates. You know that there's been high migration to our city. You know that there's been incredibly low supply of homes, and you know that there's been an incredibly competitive market here in Calgary for all property types, and that there's been a lot of bidding wars and that sort of thing. Why? Because we need homes. We have a lot of people that need homes. Move-up buyers aren't necessarily moving up because the Bank of Canada has raised the rates, and of course, the mortgage rates as a result end up going up so people can afford less. So this has been the challenge across the country, of course, because the rates have gone up across the country, but especially here in Calgary, where so many people have been moving not only from other countries, but there's been a lot of interprovincial migration, specifically from Ontario and British Columbia. So this adds to why we need more homes for sale and that sort of thing. So let's jump into things, and then we'll kind of talk about at the end a little bit about where we expect we're going in 2024. So this is benchmark pricing for detached homes in the city of Calgary. First and foremost, we'll take a look at this listing absorption rate. So you can see here it says the listing absorption rate is 58.63%, and that's because of as of December 2023, there were 1,020 listings for sale in December. 598 of those sold, or 58.63%. And anything over 50% is considered a seller's market, 50 to 30% a balanced market, and below 30% is a buyer's market. So you can see that detached homes in the city of Calgary is considered a seller's market right now. Now, the benchmark pricing is $697,400. This is down ever so slightly from last month when it was $699,500. It's down 0.3% from November. But year over year, benchmark pricing is up 12.85%. Now, this chart here, beside this benchmark price number, is the last year of what's been happening for benchmark pricing in Calgary for detached homes. Then you can blue is down, but the black is up. So you can see that in January we've trended upwards. We have a little blip in September, up in October, November, a little blip here. Now, just a disclaimer here. Normally in the fall, as we approach winter and get into winter, we do see prices relax a little bit into the winter months, September, October, November, December. And that's because people have their kids in schools. There's just a little bit less activity in the market. It's a little less competitive. And so prices are a little more lax as well. So we do see that blip in September, but then it's up again, and then a little blip in December. Now we're also a wintry month, of course. There's a lot of holidays going on. Christmas being one of them, Hanukkah, that sort of thing. And people are focusing on what's happening with their faith or these holidays and going away, that sort of thing. So again, less activity, people aren't moving, generally speaking, at this time of year. So we see these prices go down. So that's what's happened here. But you can see in last December, the benchmark price in Calgary for a detached home was $618,000, and here we are at $697,400 in just 1 year. Now, the next chart down below is the benchmark price trend for 10 years. So we've got 2014 all the way to 2023. Again, these dark colors are the market going up. The blue is going down. And you can see that in 2018, 2019 is going down. Then 2020, it started to go up. 2021 up 13.7% from 2020, then up another 14.47% in 2022, and now up 7.38% in 2023. Now moving down, you can see the actives and solds. There were 1,020, active properties for sale, 598 of those sold. So as far as actives go, this is down month to month, the amount of actives by 28.52% from last month. So you can see supply is way down here. And year to year, this is down 3.95% from December of 22. What does that tell me? Well, because it's down 3.95% from December, means our numbers are fairly close to last December. And if history repeats itself, I can imagine we're going to see prices increase into 2024 for several reasons. But number one reason here is we see that it's fairly close to last year. So that tells me that we're kind of like where we were at last year. So that could influence where we go moving forward. Now, month to month in the solds, down 26.89%. No surprise, because the supply is down 28.52%. And the solds down roughly 3% at 3.08% from December of 2022. And again, no surprise, because again, we were down in supply from December of last year. Now, average days on market, you see in December was 34 days. Last year it was 46. And you can see that, we have very low numbers all through the year, pretty much. So that's what's going on there. And then this is the market distribution. These are total homes sold year to date in the city of Calgary. Now, for detached homes, there were 12,722 homes that sold throughout the year. See, the vast majority were in that $500,000 to $600,000 range, followed by that $600,000 to $700,000 range, then that $700,000 to $800,000 range, that $400,000 to $500,000 range, and then that $800,000 to $900,000 range. And I always find this interesting how it goes down that 9 to 1 million, but then that 1 to 1.5 million jumps way up. And in fact, we even had 155 properties that were priced over $2 million that sold in Calgary this past year. So now we're going to look at semi-detached homes. For those of you unfamiliar with that terminology, kind of like a duplex, if you will. Many of them are much nicer than what you might think your traditional duplex might look like. Let's get into things here. So this is the listing absorption rate here is 63.74%, because as of December, there were 182 listings, but 116 of them sold. Now, 182 listings citywide is not very much, just so you know. But this absorption rate, 63.74, puts us in a strong seller's market. Now we'll go down to the benchmark price here with $627,100. That's down 0.25% from November, but up 11.96%, nearly 12% from last December. Now the benchmark price last December was $560,100. Again, you can see it just went up all year long. Came down a little bit in November. Well, actually, came down in September, went up in October, stayed the same in November, came down slightly in December, but still above what it was in September. So prices very strong in this part of the market. The 10-year benchmark price trend, again, you can see from 2014 to 2023, and you can see in 2021, 2022, 2023, it's gone up. Again, just demonstrating the actives versus the sold. Now, actives month to month were down 33.09%. As far as the solds were concerned, we're down 17.14% from November. Year-to-year actives down 20% at 20.18% from December of 2022. But year over year, check this out. The number of solds are up 33.33% from December of 2022 in this part of the market. Isn't that interesting? I mean, it's down 20%, but it's up 33%. What's that? Like a 50, over 50% spread here, right? That's just what's happened. And that just tells you that people still need homes in our city, despite the time of year and despite what's happening with interest rates in the market. Average days on market, right now, 33 days on market, last December 43, and you can see that it's trended down in the winter months in 2023, pardon me, and it's been fairly strong all the way through. Market distribution throughout 2023, there were 2,250 semi-detached homes sold in the city. Highest concentration at $500,000 to $600,000 range, followed by that followed by that $400,000 to $500 range. 500 to 600, then 400 to 500, and then that $300 to $400 range, then that 800 to 900, 7 to 8, and that $600,000 to $700,000 range. So that's semi-detached homes. All right, now we're going to look at Calgary rural housing. For those of you, again, not familiar with that terminology, that means townhomes. Look at this. Check out this listing absorption rate for December at 88.15%. That's because we had 287 listings for sale and 253 of them sold. Guys, that's incredible. That's not very many listings, and that's a lot of sold. So that's where that 88.15% comes in. And of course, that's a strong seller's market. Now, the benchmark price in December is $425,100. That's down nearly a percentage point from November. It's down 0.93% from November. Year to year, though, it's up nearly 20% at 19.98% from December. And you can see in December, the benchmark price in 2022 is $354,300. And here we are at $425,100. And in November, we were at $429,100. Again, why are these down? Again, I think it's the time of year. I think that's the biggest player as to why these numbers are down a little bit here. Moving down to the benchmark price trend, 2014 to 2023. So, you can see we've come a long ways in 10 years when it was $318,000 for a townhome. And here we are at $399,000 in 2023. Why $399,000? Why not $425,000? Because it takes into account January through to December, guys. That's why this at just below that 400,000 mark here, but still way above that 355 recorded last year and 309,000 recorded the previous year. Again, just demonstrating the actives versus the solds here. 287 actives, 253 solds. So month to month, the actives are down nearly 30%, 29.66% from November. Month to month, the solds are down just 5.24% from November. Now you expect that would be more given this 30% decline month to month in supply, but it's only down 5.24% in number of solds from November. So that's very telling how hungry people are for homes. Year to year, the actives are up 4.36% from December last year, but the number of solds, again, check this out, guys, up 33.86% from December of last year. Now, days on market, 29 days on market, much stronger than December of last year, and quite strong throughout the year, as you can see here. And the market's distribution for rural housing, the total number of rural houses sold in 2023 was 4,560. The greatest concentration being in that $300,000 to $400,000 range, followed by that $400,000 to $500,000 range, followed by that $200,000 to $300,000, followed up by that $500,000 to $600,000 range. Now, a lot of people that could normally qualify for maybe a semi-detached home maybe can't. So now they're looking into the rural housing, and that's why this part of the market has become very popular because you still get a fair size property where you can probably get, 3 bedrooms for your family, maybe four. But at the same time, you're spending a little less, and that's because people can't qualify the same as they could before because of the interest rates. And now apartment condominiums for December 2023. The listing absorption rate here is 59.11%, and that's because as of December 2023, we had 675 listings in this part of the market. 399 of them sold. That's 59.11%, giving us this seller's market at 59.11%. The benchmark price here, $321,400. Now that's up 0.41% from November. Year to year, it's up 19.13%. So let's take a look. December was 320,100. Here we are at 321,400. Last December, it was 269,800. So this, again, look at this chart. I mean, there's no blips in this chart. It's just been increasing from January all the way through to December. Again, why? Because people that could normally qualify for, say, a townhome maybe can't do so. And so now they're looking at apartment condominiums. And at the same time, because of so many people moving here as well, this has become, a popular starting point for a lot of people starting over, immigrants from other countries, that sort of thing. Benchmark price trend, 2014 to 2023. You can see that we had a lot of lean years. 2016 through 2020, prices were trending down. Why? Because we had an oversupply of apartment condominiums. At one point we had like 10 months supply of apartment condominiums. So I mean that's a lot of supply. So what does that mean? It means sellers are competing with each other to bring in the few buyers. So prices were trending down, but no longer the case as of 2021. It started to trend upwards, 2022 and 2023. In fact, this is what drove the market in 20. A big part of what drove the market in 2023 was the apartment condominium sales. Here we are again, the actives in December, 675 versus 399 sold. So month to month, this 675 actives is down 23.47%. The amount sold down 29% from November. So pardon me, these are both month to month, so down from November. Year to year, this 675 is up 3.85% from December. Year to year, it's up. The number of sales, though, are up 28.3% from December. So again, very telling. Days on market, 34 days on market on average. That's a far cry from 10 months, thank goodness. You can see in December last year it was 49 days, and you can see that it's been fairly competitive with these numbers here. Market distribution, so there were 7,884 condo sales last year. The majority of them being in that $200,000 to $300,000 range, followed by a $300,000 to $400,000 range, then below 200, and then that 400 to 500. And I think this is as we would expect. Again, people from that townhouse sector that could previously afford a townhome are maybe now looking at condo apartments. Now, I said we would touch on where I thought we were going for 2024. So if you think the market is competitive now, if you think our supply is low now, even though the Canadian government, the city of Calgary, all levels of government really are trying their best to bring up supply by incentivizing builders, making it easier for builders to buy land and to build properties. But this takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. So it's going to take quite a while for the supply to get up. We're still seeing high migration interprovincially and internationally to our city. And what do you think is going to happen when the interest rates start to come down in 2024? Because that is the prediction, that interest rates will come down in 2024. With an already very competitive market, I can tell you it's going to make it even more competitive. Now, as a realtor, you would think, oh, we love that. We don't. We don't love it when it's crazy, crazy, crazy like that. We honestly don't, because people make irrational decisions, and we can educate all we can. But at the end of the day, it's our clients who have the final say. No, I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy at this time. I'm just saying that you need to do what's right for you and your family and make good decisions for you and your family. And that means when it comes to negotiations and writing a contract and that sort of thing. Um, so what should you do? Should you buy now or should you buy later? Well, I personally feel like it might be better to buy sooner than later because I think prices are going to continue to trend upwards. I think there's a very good possibility. I can't say for certain, but this is my gut feeling, especially once rates start to go down. So you say, well, Patrick, I can't qualify for a property right now at this price, or I can qualify for a lesser property at this price, not necessarily what I want. Well, if you buy now and prices trend upwards, you're going to have some equity in that property. And I know interest rates are higher, but maybe that's a conversation for you with your lender or your mortgage broker where you talk about, do you get a floating rate for the meantime and then write it down as rates go down, some kind of short-term pain for long-term gain. Or do you lock in and when rates come down, you just continue to pay high? It's really something you need to discuss with your mortgage broker, but hear me now, I do think the market's going to be much more competitive. So now, if you want to stick around, we'll take a look at each sector of the city. There are 8 sectors of the city in Calgary, and we'll get into that next. Okay, guys, so now we'll jump into each sector of the city. So there are 8 sectors of the city according to the real estate map, sort of city center, and then going to the west is the west sector, and then we have the northwest, then the north, the northeast, the east, the southeast, and the south, which encompasses a little bit of the southeast and the southwest district of the city. So we'll start with the city center. Now, city center is historically one of the more expensive areas of the city, as you can imagine, along with the west, actually. The west is also a more expensive area of the city. And the reason why this is a more expensive area of the city is because of the proximity to downtown and it's a well-established neighborhoods and all the amenities that are readily available. So I actually live in the inner city. I don't live in a great big fancy house, but I can certainly walk to downtown if I so desire. And I love it because I can get anywhere I need to go within the city roughly within a half hour. So let's move forward here. Let's look at each property type and we'll kind of spin through this fairly quickly because we've got 8 sectors to cover. So detached properties, you can see the benchmark price here for a detached property in the city center is $875,000. That's down 0.8% from November, but up 10.24% from December of last year. There were 197 actives last month, but there were 80 solds, hence this 41% listing absorption rate, and that puts us into balanced territory in the city center, just 45 days on market on average. Now, semi-detached homes, the benchmark price here, $866,700. You're like, Patrick, those are some nice duplexes. Yes, they are. This is down 0.2% from November year over year. It's up 8.39% from December of last year. There were 90 actives, just 23 sold, gives us this 26% listing absorption rate, and actually puts us just into buyer's market territory here at 47 days on market on average. And then looking at townhomes or row homes, benchmark price $575,800. This is down 2.04% from November. That's a fair decline, but it's up 14.56% from December. There were 49 actives, 23 sold, giving us this 47% listing absorption rate, which is in balanced territory. Just 32 days on market on average. And apartment condominiums, the benchmark price is $340,800. This is up 0.32% from November, up 13.34% from December of last year. 361 actives, 170 sold, giving us 47% listing absorption rate, which is in balanced territory, 39 days on market on average. Now, you notice these numbers differ greatly from what we talked about citywide, and you'll notice that the numbers change from district to district within the city as well. So again, why are these numbers, why are we seeing balance for buyer's market, that sort of thing? Part of it has to do with interest rates. Part of it has to do with the expense. The higher the cost of the property, the less number of people that are available to purchase it. So you narrow your pool of buyers, and at the same time, of course, the interest rates are up, right? So we already know it's narrowed. So and again, like I said, because of that wintering time is December, it's to be expected anyway. So that's what we're seeing here. Let's move on. So now we're going to the west sector of the city. Immediately, you're going to look at these dials, you'll see some similarities depending on the price, and then you'll see some real changes going on from what we saw in city center. Let's start with detached homes. The benchmark price here, $857,600. Month over month is down 3.26% from November, but year over year up 8.12%. There were 104 actives with 47 sold, giving us that 45% listing absorption rate, putting us in balanced territory, just 35 days on market on average. Then we look at semi-detached homes or duplexes, if you will. The benchmark price, $737,800. And by the way, guys, this is for half a duplex, not the whole duplex. This is down 2.21% from November, up year over year 10.27% from last December. Just 17 actives in this neighborhood, in this area of town, with 11 sold, giving us a 65% listing absorption rate, which is a seller's market, 48 days on market on average. And then row or townhouses. 443,500 is the benchmark price. Month over month is down 1.64% from November, but year over year, this is up 22.41% from last December. Again, this is a hot market just because of affordability. There were 27 actives last month, but 29 sold. Why? Because we're dipping into the previous month's inventory. This means the listing absorption rate is actually over 100%, so a strong seller's market, 24 days on market on average. Looking at apartment condominiums, benchmark price $332,100. This is up 0.15% from November, but year over year up 14.24% from December of last year. Number 43 actives, 36 sold, just 24 days on market on average. All right, so now we move to the Northwest. So if the city center and the West are the most expensive areas, the Northwest would probably be deemed the third most expensive area of the city overall. I mean, there are pockets that are more expensive. So we'll keep going here. Benchmark price for detached homes in the Northwest is $734,600, which is up 0.8% from November. But year over year, this is up 17.24% from December of last year. There were 75 actives and 69 of them sold. That's a 92% listing absorption rate, which is a strong seller's market. Again, you're seeing differences from neighborhood to neighborhood depending on product type and affordability and that sort of thing. 28 days on market on average. Looking at the semi-detached properties, the benchmark price here, $594,000, down 1.1% from November, but year over year up nearly 12% at 11.93% from last December. There were 14 actives, 12 sold, which gives us this 86% listing absorption rate for a strong seller's market, just 30 days on market on average. Looking at row or townhouses, the benchmark price here, $417,000. This is down 1.07% from November, but year over year up 17.17% from last December. And there were 19 actives and 18 sold. 95% listing absorption rate, which is a strong seller's market, just 19 days on market on average. And apartment condominiums, $293,200 is the benchmark price in the Northwest. This is up 0.58% from November, down 0.58% from November, but year over year, this up 21.06% from December of last year. It's crazy. 20% increase from the previous year. So 53 actives, 29 sold, gives us that 55% listing absorption rate, which is in seller's territory, 29 days on market on average. Okay, now we're moving to the north. Let's start with detached homes. The benchmark price here, $651,400. This is up 0.26% from November, year over year, up 13.19%. There were 118 actives with 79 sold, giving us a 67% listing absorption rate, which is a strong seller's market, just 33 days on market on average. And looking at semi-detached homes, the benchmark price here is $498,100. This is up 0.18% from November, year over year, up 12.41% from December of last year. There were 16 actives, seven sold. This is the 44% listing absorption rate comes from these numbers, which is in balanced territory, 16 days on market on average. Even though it's in balanced territory, guys, it's just not very many properties for sale or to be sold. Looking at row houses or townhomes, the benchmark price here, $404,300. That is below the city average. Month over month, that's down 0.27% from November, but year over year, check this out, up 18.32% from December of 2022. There were 36 actives, but 47 sold, so dipping into the previous month's inventory. So the absorption rate is actually over 100%, strong seller's market, just 25 days on market on average. And looking at apartment condominiums, the benchmark price here, $310,500 month over month. That's up 1.24% from November. Year over year, up 23.07% from December. 39 actives, 30 sold, gives us a 77% listing absorption rate. That's a strong seller's market. Just 26 days on market on average. Okay, looking to the Northeast. Now, the Northeast is I would say, the second most affordable area of the city, followed by the East, which is the most affordable. We'll get to that next. And the Northeast is up where the airport is located, that sort of thing. So let's get moving here. Detached properties. Benchmark price here, $563,000. That's up 1.39% from November. Year over year, check it, guys, up 19.25% from December of last year. The actives, there were 184 actives last month, 112 sold, 61% listing absorption rate, which is a seller's market, 32 days on market on average. Okay. Semi-detached homes or duplexes, if you will. The benchmark price here, $403,300. That's up 2.18% from November. Year over year, guys, year over year, it's up 19.96% from December of 2022. There were just 15 actives last month, but 21 sold. So we dipped into the previous month's inventory. So the absorption rate is over 100%, strong seller's market, 25 days on market on average. Looking at row homes, the benchmark price, $338,400, down 0.94% from November, but year over year, holy cow, guys, check it out, up 33.7% from December of 2022. There were 69 actives last month, 55 sold, giving us that 80% listing absorption rate, which is a strong seller's market, just 35 days on market on average. And looking at apartment condominiums, benchmark price here, $280,600 month over month. That's up 0.29% from November. Year over year, guys, check it out again, up 30.33% from December of 2022. There were 46 actives and 36 solds, giving us a 78% listing absorption rate. Strong sellers market, just 39 days on market on average. So we're up, roughly 20%, roughly 20%. Roughly 33, 34%, roughly 30%. Wow, would have been a good year last year to invest in the Northeast. Where are we going in 2024? We'll find out soon enough. Okay, and moving down to the east sector of the city. Again, like I said earlier, this is what is considered the most affordable area of the city. The benchmark price for a detached home here is $482,100. That's up 2.6% from November. That's a good jump. A year over year, it's up 24.51%. Guys, wow. Could you imagine having bought an investment property last year in this neighborhood and seeing that sort of appreciation in a short amount of time? Wow. Number of actives, 28. There were 30 sold. So the listing absorption rate is beyond 100%. Strong seller's market, just 28 days on market on average. All right, semi-detached properties. Benchmark price $359,700, which is up 0.45% from November. Year over year, up 24.21% from December of 2022. There were 8 actives, just 3 sold. Guys, that's not very many. 8 actives in this whole area. It's not many at all. 3 sold. That gives us that 38%, which is a balanced market. I'm laughing because even though it says balanced market, I mean, can you really call it a balanced market? I mean, with just 8 actives? Wow. Days on market, 16. Okay. Row homes. The benchmark price here, $267,500, is down 1% from November. Year over year, though, guys, 32.1% increase from December of 2022. There were 6 actives, but 10 sold. So the listing absorption rate is beyond 100%. 40 days on market on average. Again, not very many properties. Apartment condominiums, the benchmark price here, $233,700. That's up 0.82% from November, but year over year, oh my goodness, guys, it's up 35.95%. Let's call it 36% from December of 2022. There were just 8 actives last month with 7 sold, giving us an 88% listing absorption rate. That's a strong seller's market and 26 days on market on average. I don't know about you, but I kind of wish my bank account was unlimited and I had purchased some properties in the east and northeast as rental income properties last year. Okay, moving down to the southeast, Let's start with detached homes. The benchmark price here is $674,000. That's down 0.74% from November, but year over year up 9.95%. There were, okay, this is more like at 100 actives with 78 sold, giving us a 78% listing absorption rate. I love it when the math is easy. That's a strong seller's market, 29 days on market on average. Looking at semi-detached homes. Benchmark price here is $479,800. That is down 0.66% from November, but year over year, it's up 12.58% from December 2022. There were 7 actives, but 13 sold. Again, that's not very many for the Southeast, just 7 actives. But we dipped in the previous month's inventory, so the listing absorption rate is beyond 100%. Strong seller's market, 40 days on market on average. Looking to row houses. The benchmark price here is $426,000. That's comparable to the city average. It's down 0.28% from November, but year over year, it's up 14.64% from December. There were 43 actives with 33 sold, 77% listing absorption rate. That's a strong seller's market, 39 days on market on average. And apartment condominiums, the benchmark price here was $337,000 in December. Month over month is down 0.09% from November, so quite negligible. Year over year, up 20.88% from December 2022. There were 53 actives, 42 sold, giving us that 79% listing absorption rate, which is a strong seller's market. 39 days on market on average. All right, and moving to the south area of the city. Let's get started with detached homes. So the benchmark price for a detached home in December was $664,600, which is up 0.02% from November. Again, quite negligible. Year over year, it's up 11.9% from December of 2022. There were 192 actives with 95 sold, so 49%. So we're just on that cusp of balance versus seller's market, 34 days on market on average. Looking at semi-detached homes, the benchmark price here, $487,700. Down 0.43% from November. Year over year, though, up 12.97% from December. There were 12 actives, just 12, but 24 sold. So dipping into the previous month's inventory, that gives us a listing absorption rate over 100%. So it's a strong seller's market, just 26 days on market on average. Looking at row townhouse properties, the benchmark price here, $374,400, which is up 0.21% from November. Year over year, this is up 24.55% from December. Guys, almost 25%. Hey, you know what? I've got a relative that has a beautiful townhome over here. He's going to be very pleased. 29 days on market on average, but pardon me, sorry, that's wrong. 19 days on market on average, or 29 actives, but 35 sold. So this is a hot area to buy a townhouse right now. Listing absorption rate over 100%. So a strong seller's market. That's great. Moving on to apartment condominiums. The benchmark price here, $293,200, which is up 1.21% from November. Year over year, up 20.41% from December of last year. 71 actives, 49 sold. That gives us this 69% listing absorption rate, which is a strong seller's market, just 26 days on market on average. Again, guys, just reiterating where we're going. Our market is very different than the rest of Canada. And for people moving from Toronto or Vancouver, these prices are very attractive. For Calgarians who've seen a huge increase over the last few years, it's a bit of a hard pill to swallow if you're moving from somewhere like Regina or Moose Jaw or something like that, or Saskatoon. These prices are a lot more expensive than what you're used to. But when you compare them with the price of other more expensive markets, our market is quite affordable. You get to live in a large city close to the mountains, and we're still reasonable when you compare the size of our cities and the home prices. So where are we going in 2024, guys? I think it's going to be up, up, up.
So like I said, guys, if you are considering a move to Calgary or one of the bedroom communities, and you would like some assistance to purchase a home, feel free to send me a text, an email, or a phone call. My information is below. I will absolutely get back to you so you can live your life in Calgary, Alberta.